How was training? Good?
Was good.
It's interesting because sometimes actually, training-wise, you think it's really good or not, and then you do the opposite the next day, don't you?
If they are ready, if they are paying attention in set pieces, if they are really aggressive when we are working on defensive part, that for me is the most important thing, you know, because in the next day the game is completely different. You know, I just want to see if they are ready, paying attention to the details.
Is that hard as a manager, because you have all this, you want to put out the perfect plan, but actually when it goes out on the pitch, you actually don't know the outcome?
The funny thing is that you need to have like a team to understand it's not the outcome, but you already understand that how the game will be. Like we are going to have control, this is going to happen. Maybe we'll lose because of one transition or one set pieces, but the game is going to be like this. With my team, the moment, you never know. And that feeling of uncertainty, if they are connected, we'll be fine. We could not play well, but we'll be fine. But if you're not connected, so you never know.
Obviously, you had a very good career as a player, had success. Did you always want to be a manager?
I always liked the game. When I was a player, I never since I am a young kid, like to play fun games. It's more tactical games, competitive games was always my most fun part of the training. Even as a kid, just to joking around with the ball was not my thing. Like small side games or a game or tactical game. Like well, in the past, always the last training was like that funny game, different positions. I never loved that. I prefer the different things. So I think that took me to that direction of being a coach. And then 27 years old, I'm starting to think about the next step because I had a lot of injuries. And I was starting to think about what I'm going to do next, and it was clearly being a manager. Then I started studying, and then after 2 years of stopping, because I stopped with 31.
Me, I was the same, 31.
I remember that you had a lot of injuries also. So since 27, my thinking was I want to be a manager.
Because actually to come here and be the manager of this football club, it's a long journey, you know, in football. And obviously you had amazing success at Sporting, and you obviously chose Man United. How would you say the first year has been for yourself?
It was like everyone understands and knows, it was really hard. It's a completely different reality. I played, and I remember I played maybe 7-8 games in Champions League against English teams and in Europa League. But to play this league is completely different. Even the game that team plays in Europe compared to here in England is completely different. So that was, I learned a lot last year. But the biggest difficulty was to change completely, to come from one place that you control more or less the outcome of the games, how it's going to be, to have that certainty in every moment, to come to a team and to a league that you never know.
I think you mentioned in one of the previous interviews, physicality was a big thing. You know, do you think that's been one of the biggest adjustments to this league? I remember for me coming from the Bundesliga, obviously it's a bit more physical, and it takes a little bit of time, I think, to get used to every game being like that.
It's for me, it's completely different from any other league. I'm not saying that is harder or not. I'm not going to have that conversation with anybody because La Liga will be tough, Italian league would be tough. But here, if you sit down and you love football and you see La Liga game, even the top teams, and you see a game from that weekend, and then you change the channel to Premier League, the game is completely different. The physicality, the second balls, every set pieces, you have to be really strong, really connected. A lot of runs, and that is something that you can measure. But if you look at the game, a lot of transitions with a lot of power is completely different from the other leagues, and I think that is that's why this is for me the best league in the world.
I mean, everybody talks a little bit about, you know, formations and tactics, but actually this formation, I've played with my Bayern Munich team. We won the Champions League in 2001 against Valencia, played exactly the same way. Where did you get that inspiration for, as a young coach, to say, I want to play like this, this is my style?
In the beginning, I start with 4-4-2, and then I change because small things that you see other teams doing. Of course, I grew up with the Italian league. I grew up with seeing old tapes from Cruyff, the build-up with 3. Yeah. All these things. And then I remember when I start coaching, usually all the teams build up with 3 and push the fullbacks up, and then we struggle a lot with the back 4 to cover all the space with the 5 guys on top of us. And I start thinking about what I should do, because that is the fun part for me. And I start doing this system. And then for the first years was not normal, so it was good for me. Yeah. And then I think, again, the fun part is trying to adapt the way you see football to every system of the opponent. I'm always saying the same thing. This is going to evolve. We are going to change the system. But it's not a normal system, and sometimes you take longer to go from this system to another systems. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to coach the team the way I see football.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that also is personnel. You think about personnel this summer, Cunha, proven at this level, goal scorer, Buemo, goal scorer. Obviously, Šeško is a little bit different, he's a bit younger. But actually it looks like the focus was on goals and physical players, that can manage in this league.
I think we struggled a lot last year. We need goals, but sometimes it's not, they can help in every situation. They have the physicality to press, and then it's completely different. And you were a player for so long. When you have powerful players, you cannot leave the players 1 against 1. So you can build up better, because they will be afraid of pressing really high and leave 3 against 3 with the guys like Cunha, Brian, and Ben. So that can help in every situation of the game. It's not just to score goals, because I think we are creating a lot of chances, but we are not scoring so many goals. But it's completely different to have players that we can defend a little bit deeper. And you saw against Chelsea, Altay kicked the ball, and then Ben 1 touch, and Brian with that pace, with that speed, and even that sharpness in the game, opened the game for us. So I think they can help us in every situation of the game.
Do you feel like sometimes in training you're seeing great things?
What I see in training, it's more freedom. That is the key point. It's not the great plays, it's the freedom of the players. They have so much more to show. I think we are improving, but there's potential to do more.
And I think back, we were very fortunate in my time here, where we probably had 10 captains of the country. So we had a lot of guys that if somebody wasn't playing well, you could rely on somebody else to help out. Up front you had Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. In midfield you had Carrick, Scholes, Giggs. Sometimes when you're struggling, you need that older guy. Right now it feels like it's Bruno or it's Harry Maguire, but I think not having a lot of those guys can actually be tough for some of the younger players when it's a difficult situation like the club's going through.
I think we have a lot of players that they were here for many years and we are struggling. So that is always in your mind. It's not just the leaders. We need leaders. But sometimes what I'm thinking, we miss some crazy guys, That guys that I think Cunha is a little bit like that. Is a guy that is a good guy, but he doesn't care who you are.
Don't mess around.
When I play, he can play whatever is there in that position. I will go with the ball. This kind of feeling, we need that, because Harry Maguire was captain and playing national team, but you can feel it sometimes when things are going wrong. We go down. No matter if it's Bruno with the experience or Harry, and that is in the past. So we need to live in the future. And then sometimes you look at the pitch, something is going really wrong, and you see Brian with a different light, because he came from a different environment. And then you look at Cunha, and you feel that Cunha sometimes is frustrated, but you can feel it that frustration is something that give me the ball.
Yeah.
You know, so we miss that. So we need to forget the past, and we need sometimes that crazy guy that it doesn't matter that the world can be on fire, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not just the leaders, it's that maverick guys that we need in the team.
What's the goal for this season?
I think we need to return to Europe. But the funny thing is that, and this is hard for our fans to understand that, I don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
We are going to play better. That is my feeling, and I think every data, and if you see the games, you can feel it that we can win the games.
Well, thank you for taking time, showing me around. I love the new training ground. It's amazing, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.